Okay. Computer freaking out yet? How's frame rate looking? It's freaking out a little bit. YouTube. Cool, we got 2 out of 3 channels streaming right now between Twitch, Mixer, and the one that's going up now is YouTube. Because I love the content. Okay, great. Let's dump all of this. Delete. Hunk, 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 hunk. Oh, that's paintbrush. Okay. Welcome everybody to this new live stream. I'm Galahad and I'm a UX designer and a VR producer, and so I get the chance to use a lot of new VR tools that are made available, and the one that we're discussing today, well, this one happens to be called Microsoft Maquette, which is a pretty, I've really enjoyed the tool actually. And I'm going to show you a few things that I really like about it and things that'll make your life a little bit easier if, like me, you are involved in making stuff. So I guess all I'm doing right now is I'm making shapes. So let's just dive right in. So there's not like one thing that took me a second to figure out is that, like, I was trying to make a box, right? So like, how do I make a box? So I thought maybe I would go to assets. So okay, so yes, it makes a cube, but if I want to make just like a backdrop for this word maquette, how would I make that, right? Well, it took me a second to figure out that it's like actually this line tool that's most useful, and I make it like this. Boom. Wow, handy dandy. Okay, so if I want to adjust the size, that looks crappy. Let's try again. There we go. Much more like it. Okay, and then I can just grab this bad boy, make it a little bit bigger. All right, well, that isn't very readable, this like dark black on gray. So ta-da! I use this paint bucket right here, or I can press this thumb button. See this one right here on the Oculus? And I can go to paint bucket, change the color here, and just kind of apply it really easily. Super, super fast, which I like. Boom. Okay, so this is Microsoft Maquette. So kind of looking at feature set right here. So this is the general user interface that you're playing with. I will say that, like, using it for extended periods, my arm does get kind of tired just like holding up my interface all the time. But so you just got to take breaks. So here you have your select tool, your brush tool, your paint bucket tool, your text tool, clone tool, erase tool, eyedropper, and your camera. This is kind of neat. So I can just take my picture right here. So it's using my left hand to kind of like place it. And then I have to use my right hand joystick, like little trigger right here, to snapshot. So in terms of like, at first I was thinking maybe I would use this trigger on my left controller to take the picture, but that's not the case. And then maybe I thought that this little camera window would snap to my right hand because, well, I'm right-handed, so I'm very used to just taking pictures with my phone, like with my right hand. But there's no handedness, as far as I know, in this one. I can also change it to head mode, so like if I'm moving this around. But that's kind of weird because I want to see what I'm taking a picture of, so I have to hold this up to look at it. Which there's some different scenarios where that could be useful as well. And so I can use the trigger, or I can press this button here. And look at that little bit of interface design right there. See how it pops as soon as it's selected, or when it's hovering right there, and you feel there's a little haptic bump inside this controller when I'm kind of gently going between these items. And then as soon as I select it, there's an audio cue, that little click, and then this blue background to let you know that it's selected. So this this menu bar right here of tools is also available through your right controller. If I press this white button right there, that 3 ellipses dots, it brings up the same 8 tools. Do you see that? You have your select tool here and the select button here. Oh, debug console, why? That's cool. I've never seen this. It says Maquette encountered an error. Save as and restart the app before continuing. Well, looks like we're saving as and restarting the app. All right, this will just take a moment. Interesting. Okay, just take a second. Okay, I'm resetting the app. The app itself is not available through the Oculus client or the Steam client, although I do have to have the Oculus client running simultaneously in order to run this. I have this. Okay, so we're going to go back to Maquette right here. You know, let's just create a new project. That's fine. Okay, we're back in our environment again. All right, cool. So we were just talking about how we have these menu options also available right here by pressing this ellipses button, which is pretty cool. And I love how you have to reach for the tool, and then it snaps to your hand as you select it. So there's the clone tool, brush tool, erase tool. So I just kind of like just go press it in order to select which one I want to grab first, which is pretty cool. And then just that little bit of UX design that I really appreciate. So I have the clone tool right now, looks like that. And then as soon as I press the menu button again, you'll see that the green bubble kind of like whoop, it goes away from my controller back to the menu. So just kind of see how it does that. It's really pleasant. Grab it. And then this will go back to its little corner. Little things like that. It's really pleasant. I kind of like that. And then here the joystick, you'll see move it left and right. And this is a selection tool just to grab a bunch of stuff. So for example, I'm going to grab myself a cube, sphere, a flat circle surface thing, which is, oh my gosh. Okay, so they do have a flat square tool, which I can use for nifty things like menus. One thing, so here on when I grab an object, I can have it kind of like on free transform right here. But if I use this thumb button, see that little lock icon, then it can lock it to a plane. It'll lock it horizontally or vertically like that. Right now I just want free placement, but say I want to extend it, then I grab it here, and then using this grip button, I pull it out this way. You can't use your trigger here to move it. You have to use the grip trigger or the grip button. What's kind of interesting here is like as soon as I select it with the trigger, then this menu interface here goes away, which keeps it unobstructed. What might be nicer from a user perspective is, well, I like actually for real quick adjustments, it's just kind of, it's stretching from the center, but you can see how it's expanding on both the left and right side. But what if I only wanted to move it on just the left side? or the bottom side, but not raise it up on the top side. See what I mean? So there's different use cases where that becomes more or less useful. We already saw the paint bucket a little bit. If I wanted to change these to a nice beautiful red, then I just boop, boop, boop. And just by touching it, like if I don't press the trigger and just kind of pass through it, you can kind of test how it looks. But say I made it the wrong color and I wanted to go back, then I can use this button right here, which is the undo button. And then here is the redo button. And you hear that little audio cue as well. Zoom, 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 zoom. Pretty cool. So these are just really nice little easy features to get your hands on. These start getting really fun. So you have some more kind of like assets for you to play with, right? Ooh, hello. Here's my roll of toilet paper. There you go, off-white color. Very good. All these different nice three-dimensional shapes. So here's a cool looking pyramid. This one's interesting. I'm still trying to like figure out. So the shadows are different, but this one's almost like transparent, as if like think of it almost like this. Like it's like a shell that something else kind of sits within. But if it's all by itself, it feels like it's an inverse sphere where you're seeing only that lighter red color and then the rest is glass, almost like a snow globe or something like that. It's pretty cool. All right, so we're just gonna chuck these away, and that's another way to erase stuff. You just throw stuff, which I like. Get out of my face. Cool. Things start getting interesting. Oh, and you also have these kind of like low poly rough designs. So say I wanted to make like a sweet castle or something. What kind of color? Let's go for like a brown, almost brown color on these dudes. So I can grab this. I'm gonna clone it. I'm gonna grab. Oh, and I can grab. So I just did this on accident. I can select one of them. That like auto grouped them, which is kind of interesting. Because I placed one right inside the other one. And just make like combine these for cool shapes. Looks like so I can grab just by holding my trigger down like this. I can grab multiple shapes, and then say I wanted to clone this kind of like group shape. Now I have more blocks. So you can see how. Let's see. So if I wanted to copy all of these, let's see, how would I do that? Select all of these and clone it. I don't know, maybe I'm not doing that right. Maybe they'll have to intersect a little bit more or something like that. Clone. Interesting. I'm trying to like clone this whole block if I wanted to just make a large shape and then duplicate it or something like that. That's okay. It's kind of pleasant. Erasing my stuff. All right, so what other kind of shapes do we have access to? So these are cool, just like little boulder shapes or wads of paper for something a little bit rougher feeling. The Maquette library. So we have 3D icons. Ooh, what are these? Person symbol. Oh, that is indeed a nice tool to have. We just want to grab you, dude. Hello, man. Let's see what else we got. We have location marker, like a little pin. Pretty cool. Something that would be nice, that I'm not sure if there's a way to do it, is like if I wanted to place it way down there, I physically have to reach over and do it. But like if I wanted to do like 10 meters away, I have no idea. Well, actually, this is how I would do it. I would grab this little dude, Okay, so first thing I did is I grabbed my triggers on both hands and I kind of made the scene really small and myself really big as a result. So then I could grab this dude and put it right there without physically having to, move all the way over there to place an object. What's this? Star 1, Star 2. Ooh, Kirby style stars. I can appreciate that. We have devices. So Samsung Odyssey, headset, controllers. Okay. Let's make these black. There we go. I like how when you change the colors, it automatically changes the device color here. Give you an idea what that looks like. Windows Mixed Reality controller. A little different than the Oculus controllers I'm using here, but still like them. Headset with the band around the backside, which is pretty cool. All right, let's put it on you, dude. Cool. Band's a little big. Your head needs to fill it out a little more. So maybe rather than that one, we'll give him this one, which is just the visor. Nice. Looking good, bro. Cool. So let's see what else. Hands. Ooh, this is actually really nice. If I'm designing something and I want to show what a hand placement might look like while doing a certain interaction, then I can have a left or right hand, model there to help demonstrate that. That's pretty cool. Good job, Microsoft. Household. Lots of objects. So this is pretty cool. So all I'm seeing right now are, let's see, it's a very familiar layout. It follows similar interface design mentality and thinking models, or mental models as like what you would expect on a desktop, for example. So you're not really learning anything new as far as interface uh, hierarchy, like information hierarchy. What might be nice here, however, is like a preview. So for example, down here on the Google Poly search, rather than just having a list of terms, like if I search boat, rather than just seeing the name of these models, like boat 1, boat 2, boat 3, it's actually showing me kind of this thumbnail, which makes selection much quicker. I don't know if you saw these little lines that appear in this box here when it's loading. Watch it again. Oh, that's so cool. Grab this thing, make it real big. Okay, make you big. All right, dude. And then VR man, you're gonna come. Oh no. You're gonna come back here. So I had this selected, and then I went and grabbed this at the same time, and it grabbed both of them. So I actually have to select it, and then kind of click here in between the objects to deselect it, and then I can grab my guy. All right, sweet. Hey, little man. Okay, cool. So this is actually a super useful tool right here because if you're not familiar with Google Poly, tons of people have uploaded kind of their own designs for lots of different stuff that they created using Google Blocks. And then they upload them to the cloud and make them publicly accessible for like experiences like this, basically. So I just put in the term UFO, grab it, boom. Now I have UFO. One comment there on like this global lighting, like it just makes it's automatic and it just looks really clean, really slick, and it's natural, how this lighting works. So without even touching anything, I've been able to have just a UFO attack of the UFO here with the lighthouse, but nice shadows, which is a good thing when you're rapid prototyping. And we definitely need one of these guys hanging out on the boat. We'll say he's working this back here. Very good. Cool. Okay, so it looks like snippets. So I wonder what I'm thinking that these are like PDFs, animal, derp, bear. Let's look at that. Oh, what in the world? I don't even know what these are, but I love them already. Look at this guy. Hi, bear. I don't know why they're here in the snippets section. I wonder if there's only a few of these. So it looks like these are not from the Google Poly library. These are from something else, maybe through Microsoft. Maybe, because I know they have their own like 3D Paint tool, and I wonder if these are where they're from. Looks like these are images, maybe just some, oh, cool, HoloLens icon set. Oh, this is super nice. So check this out. If this were like, if I was making a mixed reality app and this was like, say this was going to sit on my desk in mixed reality, so I'm wearing like a HoloLens or Magic Leap or something, and this were, like a bobblehead, how that's just on your desk and it's just kind of sitting there. What if this were digitally kind of like a bobblehead, and I could kind of like put my hand out, and I could press this little button here, boop, boop, and it would change this animation to like the next preset or something like that. And they could just be kind of like on a loop throughout the day. And maybe there's like some nice audio water as it's hitting, crashing into the stone or something like that. And this boat's actually like cruising around in circles and pulling up fish with its nets. That'd be really cool as just like a little desktop. I don't even know what you would call that. It's like a bobblehead, but it's like a bubble world, like this little diorama that's just sitting there. On your desk as you're typing away in your virtual world. This is really nice, having just kind of like a preset um, set of details. So one thing that's unique and I think important to the conversation of UX design and graphic design as far as mixed reality and virtuality goes, Microsoft last year revealed what they call Fluent design, and that's kind of like their visual language. So you've probably noticed that like this kind of, look, if you can see the lighthouse kind of through this texture right here, and that's called an acrylic texture. See how it's kind of masked a little bit? You can still see the color and kind of shapes, but it gives that sense of presence and persistence. It's still there, and it's really like just a nice touch. And you've probably seen this kind of go out across all Windows devices, whether it's on your desktop PC in Windows 10 or Xbox One. You've seen it be adopted across, the whole spectrum of Microsoft apps. I think even like Skype um, has used Fluent Design in some of its different elements, but it's a really nice, clear, and clean way to present information, which I really like. One other cool thing about what? Oh, nice. Sorry, I'm still exploring and discovering some things. Definitely need an ottoman. What is a pan? PUBG boys. Right there. Okay. Just for kicks, we're going to do this real quick. We're going to do a soldier. Let's see if we get any soldier models. Yes. Come on out. Our RoboCop warrior right here. Very good. And then we're going to grab you. And you're going to go right there. Very good. Loving it. Loving it. Looking good, man. Looking good. One other really unique things this does is it gives you the option to create multiple scenes. So say, for example, I wanted to create or prototype a piece that actually has motion or movement or progression of sorts of the user flow. So say say we're prototyping an animation piece, and this could be for VR or even non-VR, just for visualization. What I could do, for example, I create a second scene and I say, and then RoboCop, hold on, let's do this accurately, and then RoboCop marches forward. And then he marches forward some more. And then in the fourth scene, he turns towards the mighty UFO. And we're going to do something dramatic. And what are these differences? Lit brush and unlit brush. We like the lit brush. And then he goes You dead, son. Pew pew. Hold on, we're gonna undo that real quick. Make this a smaller brush. We're gonna create some lasers from your eyes. Okay, and then we're gonna create the next scene, which is explosions, naturally. There's no like effects brush. It's just a brush, and I can choose a straight edge or curved or freehand. And so let's say, okay, dramatic fire. And then in the next scene, let's see, we're going to grab the flames, and they're just going to kind of fall. And then we're going to erase these two things. And then in the next scene, he's going to fall some more. And in the next scene, RoboCop, wait, hold on. RoboCop and Pan Man are going to turn around slightly, walk away from the explosion. Wait, hold on a second. There we go. Grab this as it's plunging into the sea. And he's dead. Okay, great. So what we have here is a 10 slide experience. And so this is, okay, so then here we go. Scene 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like a boss, right? Protecting the planet. One, so you're like Godzilla size now, okay? Robozilla. And so that's just a quick example of how you can use the scenes functionality to create kind of like an animated sequence for whatever your needs are. I've done something similar to this in other apps where I'm creating a user flow for a client, and this is a quick, easy way for you to demonstrate like a user flow or an animation process, or here's how the scene might look as you're kind of going through it before you even put it into an engine like Unity or Unreal. It's a super simple way to kind of just visualize what that might look like in a cheap, quick, easy way. So far we've gone through assets, slides. Here's labs, which I'm guessing is more experimental type stuff. So this one's kind of interesting. So this is an AR setting. So for example, I can choose whether or not to see my controllers, or see how it's constraining my view right here. So I imagine this is like if I'm designing for HoloLens and this represents your field of view, then it blocks everything else out in the world, which is kind of what that setting is like. I see this constraint FOV being really helpful for HoloLens or even Magic Leap prototyping, but what would be more useful, I think, is if I could bring in, and I don't have one on hand, maybe there's one here in Google Poly. Let's try this out. If there's actually like a 360 scene around you, almost like a sphere. Let's see if we can find one. Oh, cool. Okay. So look, this will be a sphere, and if I make it big enough, then we'll actually stand inside of it. I think. Does it work that way in real life? I don't know. Oh my gosh. That was weird. Let's try it again. So if I put my head inside of this sphere, all red. Okay, cool. This will work. All it requires of us is actually to, so I need to have it, we'll put it like right there. This probably has to be quite a bit bigger though. Okay, so we're inside this sphere now. How do I do this? I can't physically move because of my desk, but I want to go stand like over there, you know, on the grid further down there. How do I do this? Oh, I can kind of like I'm pulling the sphere basically, or I'm pulling the world a little further away. There's a little weird vertigo here. Okay, so this is kind of cool. But basically, if I had a scene that I was building here, if if I had a scene and I wanted to make this augmented reality. Oh, okay, I see. Well, what might be useful then is like instead of this black area around here, is if it muted it a little bit, or if it made it a little less transparent, or just kind of like faded the opacity a little bit, so I can still see my surroundings. But then as soon as this, yeah, cool. Okay, so it still keeps the objects just within your frame of view. But this works a little more accurately, having kind of like some physical context around you, even though it's just this 360 image right here. It helps kind of maintain that illusion of augmented reality. You're designing for AR in VR, where augmented reality is placed on top of your physical world. So that's pretty meta, an impressive thing right there. You can save different project files, which is nice. You can just save like normal. Oh, thank you. You can change your file name, which is really nice because it'll change it within your actual file directory on your desktop, which is cool. Let's see. Another tool, gizmos. Oh, looks like I can change my viewpoints. So say I'm at scene 6 right now, right? And if I want to, here's my viewpoint in this scene. And then in scene 7, oh geez. Oh, okay. I only created this 360 sphere on scene 6, but you understand that if it doesn't matter how big the size, oh, it does a little bit. Okay, so I can put this like right where my head is, more or less. But then say for scene 7, I actually put it on the opposite side. Then when I advance the scene, it will change my point of view to face the other direction, if that makes sense. This is the environment tool right here. In this one, if I want to get rid of the floor, see that grid, it disappears there on the ground. Goodbye, floor. This changes some lighting options based on this color right here. I'm not, other than using the undo button, I don't know how to deselect that. Oh, and say I changed my mind. Okay, looks like I can just select that little circle. It's pretty small, I wouldn't know. Oh, and it even gives me the hex code. Whoa, dang. That makes me wonder. Okay, so going back here to the color palette, looks like I can set some colors here, like for my palette. So if I want to go here, I can choose some different colors to say for my custom palette. RGB sliders, this is actually really handy. I haven't seen this in too many other design apps. Usually it's only this, and I'm just kind of like arbitrarily guessing what the hex code is. But if I'm looking for something more specific, oh, wait, what? Well, looks like I can't type in a specific hex code, so if I knew the hex code, I just kind of have to know what the RGB is, and then I can approximate it. But sometimes you just know like blacks are 0000000, or all whites, or kind of like this black with a little bit of gray is a 181818, but I have no idea what the RGB is, for example. But that's pretty cool. Looks like I can also kind of change the direction of the lighting depending on your relative position. You can kind of see how that's affecting the scene. So like if I'm sitting here facing this sphere, the sun is that way to the right side of my global sphere. That's why you see this kind of like line there right down the middle. Hello. And then I can change the intensity, looks like. Whoa. That's fog. That's a fog setting. Oh, okay. So right now there's no fog. There you go. If you want to create some fog. Purple fog. Yes. Go away, sun. Oh, not go away, sun. It's turned into a purple sun, son. Try again. Cool. Okay, that little relationship between this ball and this ball here, not super straightforward, but playing around with it, I get a better feel for it. That's really cool. Okay, well, I'm going to get out of this sphere, and I'm going to say adios, world. Great. So coming back to reality, we have our RoboCop. So all in all, this is a really slick tool. I've really enjoyed using it. I feel like the interface design is very well done. It's clean, it feels consistent in its style. I especially want to comment on the Fluent design used here in the interface. It's just really, really clean. Very intuitive. Oh, cool, you can see that acrylic kind of filter there. 2018, so that's the version right there. It would be nice. Let me show you one thing that is cool is that I'm running the Oculus client while simultaneously running this Microsoft desktop app, but I still have access to the Oculus menu, which means that the folks at Microsoft have made this compatible with Oculus Dash, which is kind of like this option menu. So just like when you're on a regular PC, you can kind of multitask between different platforms and apps because they're all running off your core PC, right? Well, similar to that, for example, if I wanted to, I can mirror my monitor here. Oh, hi guys. So actually, if I wanted to see the chat while I'm in my stream, I just pin this little window and I can kind of move this around or move it closer or further away, which is pretty nice. And I'll pin it here. And then I'll close the menu, or I'll close Oculus Dash with so I can actually have this open within my VR world. So I still have access to the web. I can see how that graphic, there's no overlay. Interesting. But you still have access to your web tools here. But in order to manipulate, or if I wanted to go between tabs, or say you had a YouTube window with music playing, the only way to control it is actually to see that little circular Oculus button there. You press that button, and then you can access your web pages manually this way. You're just controlling all your regular stuff. Pretty cool. I really am really enjoying. Oh, hi guys. Really enjoying all this. So, yeah, we'll close that window or we'll minimize it real quick. So once again, this is Microsoft Maquette. We had a lot of fun today kind of testing out different scenarios and different ways you might use these tools and some different improvements that I might like to see. For any Microsoft developers out there, real quick, one of the tools that I thought might use some revisiting is in the Labs tool. Where were you? No, it was in the Environment tool. That like there wasn't a way for me to. Oh, you know what? That's my fault. I'm not selecting or deselecting these. These are just based on color presets. So depending on what this is what this gets changed to. And then if you just want to change it back, hitting this undo button is a way to do it. But it would be nice if there was like go back to default or something like that. If there was an option there, that could be one interesting thing. One other detail here I would like to mention in the labs is there is video recording. I've done video recording and you can just press start recording here, but I don't really know where it's being saved. Like I make these videos and I look in my desktop, I look in documents, I look in all these different project files, and I'm not sure where this is being exported to. So it would be interesting to see where's my crap getting exported to. And I just might be dumb and not really seeing it, but you're able to choose whether or not this is being recorded, like your UI. it's possible just to have just the artwork there, which is cool. Yeah, so a lot of different options. I can change the quality of the video and the resolution that it's being exported to. So some different options. Yeah. Well, overall, I will tell you, Microsoft, that I'm really enjoying your tool, and I'd like to give you 100% A plus rating on this tool. Really like it, really enjoy it. Something, okay, maybe like a 95, you know? Room for improvement, guys. Little things here, like little quality of life issues, like not issues, but just little improvements, like when I'm drawing something or placing an object. The audio having like when I draw right now, I can't hear anything. But it'd be interesting if there was just some audio attached to like this process of me drawing, like a shh, shh, shh. That was me making that audio right there. I'm not a VFX guy, but audio being one really cool thing about VR, it just adds to the experience having a little bit of additional feedback that shows, something is happening in my audio when I'm creating something or drawing. And maybe that could be something you could toggle on or off, like audio effects while sketching. Whatever. You guys get what I'm talking about. Okay, cool. Again, thanks so much for paying attention. And one more time for those that just need a quick reminder what this deal is. This is called Microsoft Maquette. Oh, there we go. Microsoft Maquette, and it's just out in beta now, and I know you can sign up for it to check it out if you have the VR equipment. Really recommend it, especially when matching it against other design and prototyping tools. I enjoyed my time here, and I can definitely see myself coming back and using this again. All right, signing off now. Have a great day, everybody. This is Galahad, and until next time, thanks.